time I begin to understand that the work of God is not just that we carry Bible and preach the gospel. No, it has to do with the mysteries of creation. When I understand that the work of God is of the mystery, I now begin to search for the mysteries, because he says his mystery will be unfolded unto our view if we seek him. He says, seek me and you shall find me, and I will unfold my mysteries unto your view. So that mystery becomes my sole concern, and those are the mysteries I am also unveiling to you as my brothers, so that you can be bothered of the mystery and not of the material possession. Number one. Number two, Ezenwanyi, they call Ezenwanyi. Which Ezenwanyi you they call? Which Ezenwanyi do you know? I want you to know, anybody you meet that is calling Ezenwanyi, ask him the name of the Ezenwanyi is calling. Then you know the spirit you are with. You see, these are those things we are talking about concerning the mysteries of God. Ezenwanyi this, Ezenwanyi that. Is your Ezenwanyi in the form of a dog? Or is your Ezenwanyi in the form of a snake? Or is your Ezenwanyi in the form of a fish? Then you are of the Dagon family. That is to say, the goat is ruling over all these ones, and that is the where you belong. The Ezenwanyi, the real Ezenwanyi of Igbo culture doesn't look like fish. He doesn't look like snake. He is a human being as we are. But the only difference is that she has 5 hands this way, 5 hands this way, but 1 leg as a human being. Breast is a woman. The Ezenwanyi I'm talking about is with a crown on her head. Like the one I have seen. Now the first daughter of Ezenwanyi Iyafo is Adure Iyafo. 4 hands this way, 4 hands this way, which is the Azil. Then the Ariel is 3 hands this way, 3 hands this way, the one they senior. So as then they come, then they reduce. That is to say, the mother is 5 women in 1 person. So as him born the first woman, now 4 hands in get. That is to say, him were born and return 1 will be himself. That was 5. Now him born again. Now the one of 3 hands in get. That means him don't remove 4. Him born again. Now the one of 2 hands this way, 2 hands this way. So that one, 2 hands this way and 2 hands this way, is the goddess in charge of wealth in our own culture. That is to say, the sanctuary goddess, the one that sits in the sanctuary and receive all things. Now that one changes man to woman. Now that one now in continue the one now will be man as will be the Kamanu, the 5th person. That's the prince of AMADIOHA, the only son he had. The only son he had. You see, that is, he had first of all 6 daughters, and the 5th child among the 6 daughters is a man, the only prince of the father. That is the son. Then from there, the human multiplication begins with the son. That is a mystery. So if you are Ezenwanyi, it's not that one of line of the human being lineage. You are wrong. You are not of Igbo culture. It is not our line. If you are Ezenwanyi, it's a dog, know that you belong to the kingdom of the dog. If you are Ezenwanyi, it's a fish, know that you belong to the kingdom of the fish. But in our own operation, our Ezenwanyis use these other Ezenwanyis of frog or fish for messages. They are servants to our Ezenwanyi. They are messengers. So you don't serve your servants. So men lost their path, and they find so many things in the world and they follow suit. The ones like a bird are there, but they are not in the presence of God, under say in the kingdom of God. No, these are gods in their different existence. So when you find them, try to know the kingdom you found. Do you understand? So our own is a human as we are, a head, an eye, an ear, a mouth, a nose to smell, a mouth to speak, an eye to see, is not blind, and a hand to walk, a leg to walk, a belly to fill in, a mouth to eat food and talk and bless and pass decrees. This is who we are. This is who we are. So if you go and meet the native doctors that do all these magical charms, like Okite, these are part of native doctors of these goats. You know, I said I will teach you the mystery of the two horns, and the third one that broke was the horn of the goat, to tell you that the dibias of the goat too is among the ordinary dibias. It's a mystery. So it depends on the line you run. It's not every dibia can use the horn of a ram. So many of them use the horn of the goat. That is where they belong. Try to be sensitive to what they do when you meet any spiritualist or a dibia in his temple or his sanctuary. You see, and in the sanctuary of AMADIOHA and that of the lineage of the Ezenwanyin of the humanity is a collective effort, is a collective thing, is a chain reaction thing. But in this other side, anybody does his thing. So this is the two. Here is harmony. Here is do as you like. So you will now discover why people can do charm to kill their fellow human being. So over here that you do what you like, you can do anything. But over here there is order and there is what bound. So that is the little message I want our brothers to keep heart to. Thank you very much. I wish you well. You die. When you die, your soul is not going to where God positioned it. It's returning back to that kingdom of which you saw allegiance to while on earth. So our earthly life become a place where we make our choice. That eternal choice, that independent choice, that choice of where to be or where to go is what we make on earth. For example, if I meet Idemini is a python, then from the hand here is a woman, right? Now, for wealth, and Idemini gives me wealth. Now, if I die, my soul will be with Idemini. It's not going any other kingdom. Idemini has my soul because I am owing, because I have sworn allegiance to her. Did you understand now? I have sworn allegiance to her being. So whatsoever thing, I will not die. There is no, in as much as the reason for the sacrifice is a continuity of existence. But the only thing is that we can leave mortal states and go back to spiritual states. We can leave spiritual states and come back to mortal states, and so on unto eternal progression. Now those who have fulfilled the required ordinances on earth will no longer be transporting from spirit to physical. They will now advance to a state of immortality because they have fulfilled their required obligation, because they have completed the ceremonial and the ordinances as outlined towards exaltation. So when you have completed that, according to the dictate of the culture, you are no longer a spirit. You are no longer a human. You have fulfilled that right. You will advance from the state of the spirit onto an immortal state of spirituality too, where you live like a human being, having your flesh and bone, but you are immortal in the sense that you cannot be fumed to death any longer. That is to say, you can move from one place to the other with the help of the wind, with the help of the wind, and not any mechanical means. That means you are beyond the material. You are beyond the material physical existence onto an immaterial immortal existence, just as a human too. But now you can't be called human, but let's say it's not a being. It's not a being. That means you are living to exist. You are in existence now. Good. Now, before that existence-ship, the only people, the only God, the only deity, the only being that has such exalted availability is AMADIOHA. Every other one, they look like animal of goat, sheep, ram, and they are all servants of AMADIOHA. But in the realm, they were not made to come unto immortality. Do you understand? These animanias for immortality has been created and made differently. They are there in a different form. But here, in the physical, they are to serve as spirit transporting agents. They are all transporting agents and servants, in that case, to AMADIOHA. AMADIOHA is the only king who lives there, and he has been breeding more other kings and filling his kingdom as human, those who were able to find him. So those who are not able to find him, whatsoever spirit or being you find, in that sphere you will remain. There is an ordinances set aside in the cultural sense, not in the church room. In the cultural sense. So find it in your culture. Find it in your land. Perform those ordinances. It's not the work of a pastor. Neither is it the work of your bishop or a man that put one useless cap on his head and say he is one thing or the other. No. It is a calling, and it is the gods that choose. Now, when you call gods, they believe that there is a small and big. There's nothing that's small and big. And there's nothing like God. What we have there is kings, prince, lord, and masters, you know. Let's proceed to that. Now, if you have a means of relying on to Ezenwanya 1 minute, there's one Ezenwanya, is a frog, but is a woman. That one is the one that fight witches. He is the one that caught witch. All these other you know, tricks. That one deals with witches. As the one I want money, her duty is to deal with witches. So if you want to capture a witch, if you need the power to fight a witch, the only god you will go and meet is the mermaid of the frog. It's a woman, but he has the nature of a frog. I want you to understand that if that frog will now come out to give me a message, as says the one I want money, I will now write, I saw a woman in the form looking like a frog. The leg is the leg of a frog, and the hand of a human being. But the face and the head is the frog head. I will write what I saw. Something in Daniel. So I will see her. He's also an angel. He is also a spirit messenger. He transports message. Now he has given you a key to deal with the witches on earth. Can you be able to stand such creature when he comes? Such creatures, when they come, you don't worship them. They come to serve you. They give you message. Now that power they release is what we use to walk on earth, to deal with people of her kind who are the wrong side. Now, this Baphomet, this goat opened this portal for these animania structures, which was not designed to come to life, has transformed themselves through the birth process to be born on earth. And when they are born, they will be rich because they were rich. And in their riches, they will use it to accomplish that goal of which they were called to do. That their mission is what they will use their riches to do. And then lure souls unto them to be able to build a kingdom. They will go back, they will die officially and return back. And when they are alive, if you look them, they will look like that animania structure that they were in the spirit. Now when they return back, they become a god. So any soul that contact them, now they can now appear. They can now appear with the image they used to exist on earth, human, which and I don't when existed. Now they not cross that stage. So when they manifest that image, it goes back, but not read them. When you see the read them, you see that they are one animania structure or the other. And now those bondages, those spiritual ties that this goat has opened, affecting us from one way or the other, is what Agwishi bridges. So when you perform the Agwishi, ordinance. You know, Agwishi ritual is different from Agwishi ordinance. I will teach about that. So when you perform these ordinances, you are cut off from these mesmerisms. We call it spiritual mesmerisms. You will be cut off from the spiritual mesmerisms. You will now have that inner peace to be able to seek to find your own path, and you will find it. That is the work we are doing. That is the highest calling of the Father that any living being can handle. It's not easy for us to, it's not easy for me in trying to decipher and interpret mysteries as related to the truth. We are seeking for the truth, and I think we have found it, and we have to proclaim this truth and teach all over the world that it lies in the culture. It does not lie in the church room. The church room is the business of men, while the culture is the business of the Father, the King of Kings. I wish you well. Subscribe with us and follow our pages. We will always receive updates. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless you.